Good morning and welcome to my kitchen. I'm Janine, and today I'm going to do the most basic marinara sauce because it's one everybody should know. If you master this sauce, which is super simple, you can make so many dishes. It's too many to list. Okay, let me just make sure that you can see well everything I'm making. Okay, all right, let's begin. First and foremost, get a good oil, good olive oil, nice sized pan, whatever. I'm doing only 2 pounds today. I use Tutoroso. I do 1 can of puree and I do 1 can of crushed. That's my ratio. If I were doing a bigger batch, it would be 2 to 1 crushed to puree. To crush, 1 puree. Okay, now the next thing you're going to need is some onions, some garlic, minced, tomato paste, a little bit of red wine if you so choose, basil if it's the herb you like, and I'm going to need a little touch of sugar today with my wine, and I'll explain in a minute. Okay, let me get these going in there. I used half of an onion, a medium, small to medium. It's really not a big onion at all, but you need that for flavor in here. Okay, I want to get these a little bit small. Let me turn on my pan. Okay, put it over here. Get some oil in there going. Alrighty. Now, the first myth about this, and it's probably not a myth, it's probably just confusion. I used to think so myself because, to be honest with you, I'm old, pretty old. I'm not even going to say my age. And I've never made marinara, simple marinara. Ask me why? Because I grew up, the only sauce we usually ate with pasta or any other macaroni, whatever, was Sunday meat sauce. Sunday meat sauce is the one that gets meat. The meatballs go in, all that good jazz, and it cooks for 3 hours. So I never had a need for marinara because I didn't make any simple spaghetti marinara. I never did that. I always had spaghetti, Sunday sauce spaghetti with everything in it. So I learned this recipe from Chef John Pierre. He's on YouTube. He's one of the best chefs on here. He had a cooking school. He's been cooking nearly 60 years. He's fantastic. Unfortunately, right now, he's taking a break. I went to revisit his page yesterday to refresh myself with this recipe, and he announced that he's taking a break this summer off. But when he gets back, if you want to look at him do this, he's fantastic. I wanted to go to somebody tried and true and I trust, and it would be him. So the first thing he did, and I learned so much from him, the first thing he did was saute these onions. Okay. And the onions take about 2 to 3 minutes to sweat down. You put them first and do not add the garlic at the same time because then you run the risk of burning it. Doing it this way, the flavors get added at the right timing and amounts. Let me get my spoon. Okay, make sure that's not too high. All right, and you got your good oil. You saute and sweat down your onions. The reason, I'm just going to keep talking you through what he said and what I learned. I'm breaking one rule today. First and foremost, he has this funny thing on his video. First and foremost, if you use crap, there he goes, you're going to get crap sauce. Truth be told, they're all levels of sauce. There are videos done on what the best sauce is, what, the brand, the San Marzano, which is the sweeter. There is truth to that. The better sauce you use, the less you need to do to get rid of the acidity. Good sauce won't have as much acidity. That's the reason there's the debate about putting the sugar, putting this. You need a fat to balance the acid. That's the whole thing about tomato sauce. I'm not using the very best tomato sauce today, but I'm using the sauce I have made for Sunday for over 45 years. So it works for me. I'm not going to change it. You can see my modifications. And like I said, when I write the recipe, I will put Chef John's instructions about using your very best tomato and that you will, in fact, have less acid to worry about. I've gotten around it my way, so I don't worry. And I have to have it the way I'm used to. I'm not going to go and spend $10 to make a Sunday sauce. That's the same reason I won't go and spend $10 to buy the Rayo's jar sauce. I just won't do it. This Tutoroso, on a good day, like if ShopRite has a can sale, I could get that for as cheap as $1 a can. Now you're going to see the beautiful pot of sauce I'm going to wind up with for sometimes $2, okay? Fresh is best, homemade's better. If you know, you know. You don't need to be Italian to master this, to know this. This is for everyone, okay? And the reason I add the tomato paste in the way he added it is because tomato sauce, the cans, whatever you get whole, crushed, it's like, I don't know, 80% water, 60% water. And when you stew it down, you're not going to be left with much, and it takes away the concentration of the tomato. So you add it back in with the tomato paste. Now you would use your very best tomato paste to coincide. Let's say you bought San Marzano tomatoes crushed or whole. You would get a small can of tomato paste, and you'd probably be doing 3-pound portion. All right. I'll put the measurements in the description, just like I'm speaking here to you. So you have both. You'll hear me say it and you'll see me write it. And I'll be very detailed for you, I promise. Because this is the king of all sauces in Italian cooking. This is the mother. This is you don't go further without this. When you get this, you could do spaghetti marinara. You can make a lasagna. You can make big ziti. You can make shrimp marinara, all of the marinaras, and it's just the best sauce to know. It freezes beautifully. You can even save this on the side to do your pizzas, everything. There's so many. And then what I'm going to do today, and I'll show you later, when my marinara is cooked, I'm going to add some chicken meatballs to it that are going to be delicious. Okay. The other, what I was saying, is a myth that Chef John said, and I agree with him. He said his mom would cook this all day for hours, and his grandmother as well. My mom too, and my grandmother probably would, because they think that you have to cook it for hours. Marinara is done in 90 minutes. That's all you need. 90 minutes, no more, no less. Now, our onions, let me show you. I'll move the camera so you can see with me better. I want to show you how they look sweated. Okay. There they go. When they get to that level, let me put you back up here, because I'm a crazy girl in my kitchen. I want you to know and to see. I'm going to come back over here with you. And now is the time to add in the garlic. And it only takes about 30 to 60 seconds, he said, Chef John Pierre, when you just smell it. When it's not cooked, it doesn't release its aroma or its flavors. It's when you heat it that it does that. So the minute it does that, within 30 seconds, you don't want to burn it. You keep sauteing, turn, turn, turn. Doesn't take long at all. Now you put that sauce right on in. Okay, right in there. There you go. That's one. That's two. I'm going to rinse them out with a little bit of water. That's the other reason we're adding the tomato juices, so to speak, that you would do even on a Sunday sauce. Everybody grabs this little bit of tomato. Okay. And it's coming out to about a half a can of this. We're going to put in all that water. It doesn't make sense now, but when you see the finished product and how it stews down, it's the 90 minutes of all the stewing and steaming that's going to release all the water, and we're going to be left with a beautiful marinara. Now we put that tomato paste in. For this, I'm going to put about 3 heaping teaspoons. 1, 2, and 1 more. 3. Let me rinse this out. I use something that I don't know. I'll mention it to you. I keep this on hand at all times. It's organic tomato powder, which is in fact genuine, real tomato powder. You can use this to make tomato sauce, tomato paste, tomato juice, everything, and tomato paste. When I don't have it, I run for this, and I just put the water to get the right consistency, like you saw me. Here's my tomato paste, just like the can. See the consistency of that? Just like the can. Now we stir it all in. We're going to put a pinch of salt. We're very low salt in this house. Okay, now because I'm using a cheaper sauce, excuse me, guys, it's early morning here. That's another good tip. If you want to make sauce of any kind or you're going to cook any big meal, get up early and start it early. Because right away it's 9:30 now. This is going to take till 11 o'clock. So if I wanted it for lunch, I want it ready by lunchtime is my whole objective because I think we're going to have stuffed shells with this today and those meatballs. And then I have another recipe I have to cook. So today's an early up and cooking day. Okay, I'm going to keep. So we have our olive oil, onions, garlic, tomato cans, tomato paste. Okay, now we're going to balance out the acid and then put in the aromatics. I'm going to put about a teaspoon of sugar, maybe two. 1, 2. It could be butter, it could be a fat. It's supposed to be, but this works for me. Now this is leftover Cabernet wine. I didn't have much, as you can see. I will probably put half of it, which is about 2 ounces. I think this is a 3-ounce container. I know that because I had saved it and bought it to transport stuff on the airport. Okay. See, I put half of it. About, I don't know, 3 ounces. You decide. Some people like more of a wine flavor. Now I have fresh basil. Okay, you put what you like in yours. I don't like a lot. So, and then this was going to turn and go bad. So these are the roots, the small pieces in the inside there. See, I'm grabbing the very best pieces. It is organic, this one I bought, and it was a little bit more money. You pay more because the organic lasts longer. Okay, I think that's enough basil for me. All right, I think that we've added everything we need to add. Let's recap, and then I'll let it cook for 90 minutes and show you what it looks like. So you've seen it sauteing. You're going to see me stir it. I may show you halfway through. Let me stir and tell you what we got. We did our olive oil with half an onion. We sauteed half an onion in some good olive oil. When the onions were sweated and translucent, we added about a tablespoon of minced garlic fresh. Okay, we stirred it and then we added in our tomato sauce, 2 28-ounce cans I'm using for a 2-pound batch. And I put 3 teaspoons of tomato paste. Then I added 2 teaspoons of sugar, 3 ounces of red wine left over, and some basil leaves. This is going to be the most beautiful marinara in 90 minutes. And I forgot, and I'll add it now in front of you. I don't put pepper. I'm going to put a few sprinkles of salt. It seems like a lot, but my shaker has tiny holes. So that's that. Now what's going to happen is all of the steam is going to release. You leave the top off of it, okay? Because you want the sauce to release the water, okay? Now it's filled up to the top. It's within an inch of the top. When it's done, you're going to see the difference, how it's stewed down, and I'll show you the consistency, okay? So we just let that sit for 90 minutes, and then we'll be back. Okay, guys, I'm back, and the sauce is done. Now the fun part. You seen me make a 2-pound batch. Now I'm going to show you what I do. I tasted it and burnt my mouth, so I'm not going to taste it again. It's delicious. I'll show you the consistency so you can see. Okay. And here's your marinara. See? Okay. Okay. There it is. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'll try to get a close-up video. Leave that. My husband will eat that with some Italian bread. Now, I'm going to break it down to pieces. I happen to have, I didn't make them, but I have these in the fridge. I bought them the other day, and I have to make them. These are chicken meatballs, which when I'm watching carbs, I love to eat them. They make hamburger patties. I've been doing shorts and showing them on my channel. They're absolutely delicious. I'm going to make them in my recipe because I see all the ingredients, and they're not hard. Okay, but I wanted to try because I didn't know that they do meatballs out of the chicken meatballs with all the goodies and basil and all this mozzarella and pecorino, blah, blah, blah. So forgive the size of this gigantic pan here because the kitchen's new here for us. Most of my stuff you see, I live in Florida and New York. So a lot of my cooking tools are in Florida, like a small nonstick that would be needed to make these meatballs. Boy, and they've been in the refrigerator and they're cool. There they are. They're stuffed and they're kind of delicate. Not really, but I figure they have to be in a nonstick pan. That makes sense to me, you know. So this is the only size I have. I had a little bit of olive oil in it, preparing and getting ready. They're nice and firm, but I have to get the oil to come over. It's going to the corner. I don't know if it's this pan because my stove is level. These are absolute. You get it. I had a patty yesterday, and on a potato bun. Look at these guys. I'll show you close up. They have mozzarella in there, spinach, sun-dried tomatoes. They're really good. Really, really good. You have to be careful with them. The patties, if you overcook them, come a little dry because I can tell from experience and taste, there is no egg in their mixture. This is a local North Shore Farms. If you're on the island, you know. If you're in New York, you know North Shore Farms. They're in Mineola. I'm in Glen Cove. They're here as well. They sell all of these beautiful pre-made foods and nice meats and all these stuffed things and fish. They have a meat market, a fish market, a cheese section right within this store, and it's small. It's not big by any means, and they're not pricey. I mean, that whole pack you see there, I got 6 of them for $6.24. They're $5 a pound. Not at all bad. They're absolutely delicious, and now they're going to stretch because they may be for lunch. Now, here's the tip, and then I'll close this recipe. I'm not going to keep you to the end because these are going to have to saute now for me. But I'm going to get out another pot, a little crock. Where's my little crock? I call this the personal pot. This is my personal pot, for one. It's ceramic. I do beans in here and such. And I'm going to put this over here. And when the meatballs are ready, I'm going to put them in and cover them with just enough of that marinara sauce and cook them for another hour so that they get moist and soft. Then I still have the whole other batch left in the pot. I'm going to be making stuffed shells later. I'll show you those. I'm not ready to cook them, but we'll do a little mini video so you can see that this same marinara went all around for cooking today. And I'll still have some saved. I will put everything in the description for you guys in detail. I suggest you use what Chef John Pierre says. Get better tomatoes than me. I'm not going to say get the same ones I get because there's so many on the market. And if you don't like a tart sauce where it's got that acidic, I call it tart, but it's really acidic taste to your sauce, use a better sauce. I like Laval, but you can't always find them there, but they do sell them online. Oh gosh, look at these. I'm going to come close just to show you how beautiful they grill up. And we're gonna, oh my goodness, I'm infatuated in love with these. I'm telling you, they even make mini sliders. I'm gonna test those out next. I've had the patties. This will be my first time having the meatballs, and then I'm gonna try the sliders. I'm gonna show you close with the let me shut my marinara off, okay? All righty, I'm gonna let that off. I'm going to show you close up of this beautiful chicken meatballs. I want you to see those grilling up. Okay, I think that's as close as I could get. How are those, guys? Nice. And let's go over here and show you. Alexa, cancel. I'm going to put them in that little pot. And here is our marinara all done. It's delicious. I got a nice full pot. And I'm going to be doing nice things with this. I'm going to get about 4 meals out of it. Because one pot is going to do the meatballs. The meatballs are going to spread out to two meals. Whether I eat them for lunch, honey, with some Italian bread. So that's 2 meals. Same pot of marinara. Then we're going to do the stuffed shells for dinner. Let me back out of here, guys. I'm a little discombobulated in my new kitchen, but I want you to see up close the things that I'm going to be cooking and eating. So I know I enjoy that. I want to see every little detail. All right, guys, we'll stop for now. I'll show you those stuffed shells later, and I'm on to the next recipe. Catch you in the next video. Okay, it resembles the green jar. Italians across America are saying, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. but I gotta give everybody a fair chance. I'm making these fresh stuffed shells, my fresh marinara. I just did a video, and I'm gonna give Galbani a chance, a little chance here to surprise me with this new refrigerator version. It's new, fresh shredded Parmesan, Romano, and Asiago. Please don't fail me, Galbani. Don't do this to me. It's on camera and it's on my meal, my fresh marinara. Wish me luck, guys. It's not that green container, I promise.